What if I told you that a website you've never heard of was visited 1.6 billion times last year? More than Netflix, more than Disney Plus, and just yesterday, it was shut down in one of the biggest anti-piracy operations in internet history. This is the story of Streameast, the illegal streaming empire that became the world's largest sports piracy network, and how it all came crashing down in an Egyptian police raid. Streameast didn't start as the massive operation it became. Like many piracy sites, it began small, likely as a simple aggregator that collected and redistributed sports streams from various sources. The platform's genius wasn't in its technology, it was in its timing and simplicity. As legitimate sports streaming became increasingly fragmented across multiple expensive platforms, Streameast offered something sports fans desperately wanted: everything in one place for free. While ESPN Plus had the UFC, Peacock had the Premier League, and Amazon Prime had Thursday Night Football, Streameast had, well, everything. NFL, NBA, MLB, Premier League, Champions League, UFC, you name it. The site's appeal was immediate. No subscriptions, no geographical restrictions, no cable package requirements, just click and watch. What started as word-of-mouth recommendations on Reddit and Discord exploded into something much bigger. Social media buzz drove exponential growth, with the platform gaining millions of users who were frustrated with the cost and complexity of legal streaming options. By 2023 and 2024, Streameast had become a household name. The numbers were staggering. It had over 1.6 billion visits in just the past year, with traffic primarily from the US, Canada, UK, Philippines, and Germany. It would have insane surges in usage during major sporting events like the Super Bowl, World Cup, and Champions League finals. The site's success came from its sophisticated infrastructure. Unlike amateur piracy sites, Streameast operated across more than 80 different domains. When one got taken down, users could simply switch to another. The platform didn't host the streams directly. Instead, it acted as an aggregator, pulling feeds from various sources and presenting them in a clean, user-friendly interface that often looked more professional than some legitimate streaming services. For users, it was incredibly convenient. No signups required, minimal ads compared to other piracy sites, multiple stream quality options, chat features during live events. It had all the features of premium streaming services and more without the premium price tag. Streameast wasn't just a streaming site, it became a community. Users would gather in chat rooms during games, creating a social experience that some legitimate platforms still struggle to replicate. But success in the piracy world always comes with a target on your back. The bigger Streameast got, the more attention it attracted from the wrong people. The first signs of trouble came in the form of constant domain changes. What started as occasional takedowns became a regular game of cat and mouse with authorities. Streameast would appear on new domains faster than old ones could be shut down. Major sports leagues and broadcasters were losing millions in revenue. The Premier League, NFL, NBA, and other organizations began coordinating with anti-piracy groups to build cases against major streaming sites. The Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment, the ACE, a coalition representing major entertainment companies, had Streameast in their crosshairs. This wasn't just about copyright infringement anymore. It was about protecting billion-dollar sports broadcasting deals. As legal pressure mounted, Streameast's operators had to become increasingly sophisticated. They used multiple server locations, complex domain switching systems, and various technical measures to stay ahead of takedown efforts. But this arms race was expensive and unsustainable. The more complex the operation became, the more vulnerable it was to a coordinated takedown. What users didn't know was that behind the scenes, one of the most extensive digital piracy investigations in recent history was underway. From July 2024 to June 2025, the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment worked with international law enforcement to build their case. This wasn't just about shutting down websites. They were following the money, tracking the infrastructure, and identifying the people behind the operation. The investigation revealed Streameast's global nature. While users were primarily in North America and Europe, the operation had connections spanning multiple continents. This required unprecedented cooperation between law enforcement agencies. The breakthrough came when investigators traced key infrastructure and personnel to Egypt. This led to coordination with Egyptian authorities for what would become the final raid. Authorities weren't just tracking domains and servers, they were following cryptocurrency transactions, seizing bank accounts, and unraveling the financial networks that made Streameast profitable despite being free to users. On August 24, 2025, Egyptian police raided offices in El Sheikh Zayed in the Giza Governorate. 2 men were arrested on suspicion of copyright infringement. The raid netted 3 laptops used to operate the streaming network, 4 smartphones, cash and multiple credit cards, cryptocurrency worth over $6 million, and evidence linking the operation to the broader Streameast network. By September 3, 2025, the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment announced that more than 80 domains associated with Streameast had been shut down. Users visiting the sites were redirected to ACE's Watch Legally information hub. The reaction was swift across social media. RIP Streameast began trending as users realized their go-to streaming source was gone. Sports forums and Reddit communities scrambled to find alternatives. But this wasn't just another domain takedown. This was a coordinated shutdown of the infrastructure, personnel, and financial networks that made Streameast possible. Streameast's fall marks more than just the end of a piracy site. It represents a shift in how authorities approach digital piracy. This wasn't just about blocking domains. It was about dismantling entire criminal enterprises. The shutdown removes one of the biggest competitors to legitimate streaming services. Sports leagues and broadcasters hope this will drive users back to official platforms. But the underlying issues that made Streameast popular, cost, complexity, and fragmentation, still exist. Already copycat sites claiming to be the new Streameast have emerged. But ACE has made it clear they're monitoring these closely and will pursue them aggressively. Streameast's story is ultimately about the tension between consumer demand and industry business models. While the site's illegal activities can't be defended, its popularity exposed real problems with how sports content is distributed and priced. The rise and fall of Streameast serves as a reminder that in the digital age, even the biggest piracy operations aren't invincible. But it also shows that until legitimate streaming becomes more accessible and affordable, there will always be demand for alternatives, legal or otherwise.